up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Now, I know I haven't posted in a while, and I apologize for that, but I've had good reasons. You know, as I stated before in one of my other videos, I was working on a project that I recently finished, but I couldn't post any progress pictures or videos of that project per the creator of the story, so which is understandable. So I put a lot of my effort into that to get it done on time. And I did. Squeaked it in, but I got it done on time. And then my wife and I recently purchased a house, and now we're in the moving process. So life's been a little hectic as of late. So haven't been able to do a lot of drawing or make videos for this channel, but hopefully once we get settled and the new studio goes up, I'll have a chance to get back into the groove of things. So I figured we'd do something a little bit different here. I'm going to do a comic book review. Just so I can start posting some things on this channel so it's not such dead air for so long. Now, I know there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that do comic book reviews. Mine's going to be a little bit different. Where there's some channels out there that review the book or the story and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to focus mainly on the art. If you know anything about my channel, you know that this is a channel specifically about my art and my avenue to get my art out there to the public, but also just art in general. So I'm going to start doing these new videos covering some of my favorite artists, and I'm not going to be doing like every new comic book that comes out or every new storyline or character. It's just going to be mainly following artists. So I went out to my local comic book store and I picked up Bloodshot and Fast Forward, or just Flash Forward. It's just Flash Forward. But I mainly did that because Brett Booth, who is an amazing artist, got his start back with Jim Lee's Wildstorm Studios in the early 90s with Image Comics. That's where I know him from and where I started following him from as a kid. He has since become, in my opinion, a superstar artist for DC and other companies, but he took a break from DC for various reasons, and he worked on a Valiant comic. Now I'm going to tell you, I have never in my life bought a comic book from Valiant. I just never have. Never really interested me. Nothing against this company, but in the 90s I thought the art and the colors were not up to par. It just wasn't anything that kept my interest. So this is the first time I bought a Valiant comic in my 30 some odd years of collecting comic books. Whoa, you hear that thunder? It's storming outside right now. I'm actually supposed to be moving right now, but I figured I'd take a quick break and do this. But I'm extremely excited about this book. The art in it is amazing. We'll get to that in a second. Before I start into this, just want to say just a couple negative things that bugs me as a collector, specifically of artists. I've been looking forward to this book now for months, ever since it was released. And if you follow Brett Booth on his social media, specifically Twitter, you've been seeing like a lot of sneak peeks and whatnot, and the art just looked amazing. So I go in my store and I pick it up, and they have 3 different copies of this, 3 different covers. Not a single one is by Brett Booth. I don't understand that. Now I know he's doing 2 books at once, and maybe it's just saving time, or maybe Valiant wanted to highlight other artists on the cover, which just doesn't make sense because Brett Booth is the draw for this book. I mean, for people like me, I'm only picking up this book because he is drawing the book. So it would be awesome to see his art on the cover. And I've seen some promotional pieces that have been put out by who inks this book? Awesome inker. Adelso Corona. He's done some amazing work over Brett Booth. It's a hell of a team with this book. And there's some stuff like right here. I mean, you could have used that for the cover. You could have used anything for the cover if he didn't have time to actually draw the cover himself. Or maybe it was a decision by the company. I don't know. But regardless, I would have loved to have seen Brett Booth on the cover. That doesn't, kill the comic book for me by any means. And also, the quality of paper, when you compare it to DC, and I just happen to have Flash Forward, which I'm going to do in another video at some point, but the paper it's a lot better. It just, quality. In any case, let's jump into this. First of all, Brett Booth is an absolute master at sequential pages and telling stories. And I just want to highlight one thing. If you were like me and you grew up in the 90s and you had the whole image boom and you remember the style and feel of those books, this is straight Image Comics to me. The style, the art, the amazing art, it's awesome to see. It's one of the first times I felt like really, this is just, Brett Booth is killing it right now. Absolutely killing it right now. And I know he's got a Patreon account, and he's got his own own comic book that he's working on, so I can't wait to see that come out one day also. But everything about this book is awesome. The colors, the inks, obviously Brett Booth's storytelling. Just look at some of these characters. Look at the design on these characters. It's awesome. There's a lot of complaining going on right now in comic books, whether they be, the SJWs or whatever people want to. And I'm not going to get into politics. That's not what this channel is about. But there's a lot of people that just complain about, men can't draw women now and all this stuff. And, if something's not super realistic, then it's bad art. And the thing that Brett Booth does so well is he takes realistic looking art and he exaggerates it. But that's what comic books are supposed to be. Guns don't always have to look exactly like they're supposed to look. A stance of a human being doesn't have to look exactly like it would in real life. If you looked at somebody trying to take a superhero pose in real life, they're going to look stupid. One of my complaints with the Spider-Man movies is a normal human being can't capture the positions and stances that Spider-Man is because he is drawn so exaggerated, popularized by Todd McFarlane in the 80s and really revolutionizing how he looks as a character. But he carries the resemblance of realistic look and proportions per se, and that's what Brett Booth does. Just it's beautiful art, beautiful storytelling. I'm gonna say that again and again because for young artists or aspiring artists like myself, it's study guys like this, study their work, just see how they do things, how they work off the script. Look at how incredibly dynamic that is. Just how the page flows. It's really awesome. Again, you can have all the panels you want blocked out, but just doing stuff like this, it adds so much more character to a page and energy. And I think that's something that lacks in comic book artists a lot today is energy. This book is one of those, it's like an old school, like 90s action movie. And to me that's what comic books are supposed to be about. Give me story, but also give me amazing art. Give me action. Give me action. And give me awesome colors and all this. Nobody wants to see a comic book of characters sitting around and talking, drinking tea for 4 pages and talking about issues in their life. It's boring. I'm sorry. Maybe some people like that. I would much prefer to feast my eyes on beautiful art like this. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, and spoilers and stuff like that, but if you get a chance, pick this book up. I think it's only $3.99. Yeah, it's only $3.99. It's a hell of a good price. And Brett Booth is a master. Support him. Support the creators of this book. And just show that you have love for comic books and love for what comic books should be. And that's awesome characters, great action, drama. They're superheroes. It's a superhero book. So Bloodshot. Hopefully in the next few issues you're going to have Brett Booth covers. But I think this, to me, is a 10 out of 10. And again, I'm going strictly on the art here. I know the story's pretty good. Read it for yourself. Get into it. But 10 out of 10 on the art. Brett Booth is a master. He's the man. Anyway, hope you like this video. I'm going to do flash forward next when I get a chance. And then I think I'm going to dive into... Actually, I don't know. I got a ton of books by my favorite artists I'd like to go get into, even going back like to the image craze. And I was an Image boy, grew up Image in the 90s, and I'd really like to highlight what I think is one of the better periods of time for comic books. So if you like this video, hit that like, hit subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed, share it, do whatever you can. I'd appreciate the support. And until next time, have a good one.